Okay, it's the 9th of May and I'm doing a video with the identity war that was waged against me, where there is no proof that it is the Church of Scientology doing a fair game, Joker degrader, dead agent operation against me. There is no proof officially about this, but the last couple of years I made a lot of discoveries about criminal insanity through administration channels and an abolition of human rights and the Charter of Fundamental Rights as the European Commission has compiled. Now, as I said, I cannot prove at this moment that the Church of Scientology organized a fair game and revenge against me. And I think the same goes for many other Scientologists who left the Church and wanted to use Scientology for spiritual progress, like Koos Nolst Trenite, the Dutch Scientologist, whose daughter was murdered, he was sectioned, he was harassed, and despite all this, he hasn't got any tangible proof that it was a Church of Scientology revenge. Or like the case of David Mayo, who was arrested at gunpoint, handcuffed, raided, and this was due to an identity error done by Interpol. To this day, David Mayo cannot prove that the identity error, where he was considered to be a drugs baron, a drugs cartel baron, instead of a persecuted Scientologist, was organized by the Church of Scientology using Interpol channels. There is no tangible proof. The entire Scientology community knows that there was a bitter fight and litigation between David Mayo and the Church, but there is no tangible proof that the reason why he was branded a drugs baron was because of the Church of Scientology. In my case, I was aggressively branded a secret hooker or prostitute or sex offender, heinous sex offender, and there are two factors in this. A key factor is that the Church has organized a look-alike of mine to make disgusting porno videos. I was told this by shopkeepers who asked me if I have an older sister. Now, I went and filed this complaint with the police already in 2006. I wanted this identity fraud to stop because I had been fired from many work contracts, and it was essential that this identity fraud stops. I didn't know how to go about protecting my rights, and now I know. What I know is that police runs intelligence-led management. Therefore, this means it's not what I have done, it's not who I am, it's not what I think I have done. It's what is written about me in police databases, council databases, dozens of databases circulating data that can be wrong, can be malicious, or can be purely mistaken. So the first step I am taking is to do subject access requests and obtain all data held about me with local councils, with London Metro, with the Scottish Police, the Strathclyde Police, and the NHS, the main four authorities: police, councils, NHS. This is essential. Now, the other thing I found out is the way the council database, the security register, operates. This applies to me a lot because I have good reasons to suspect that this security register in Henley-on-Thames or South Oxfordshire, these are the two main councils, had sent out an aggressive alert that I am a sex offender, secret hooker who got away from justice, heinous sex criminal. What I understand is that the software for these databases, council law enforcement, are sophisticated. Most of them are created by Charter Systems software, charter-systems.co.uk, and one of their features is double records. They can send out alerts and alarms containing filth and heinous material about you, but they can also keep a double record, a sanitized record, if you apply with a subject access request to obtain all data held about you. The other thing I found out is RIPA, the Regulations for Investigatory Powers Act. It's very important that since the year 2000, local councils and 300 other organizations, a total of 800 organizations, obtained the right to self-authorize directed surveillance or targeted surveillance ever since the councils bought special equipped cars, special spying gadgets, disguised lamps, disguised smoke alarms and devices to spy. They're playing a James Bond game where they do intrusive directed surveillance on persons, and less than 9% of the surveillance orders actually led to any criminal prosecution. Now, so what happened to me is I was branded from a council database as a secret hooker, and it is the security register, because this is the only database that goes to binmen, schools and nurseries. That explains why I had small children age 6 to 8 years old calling me a fucking whore, which is a very heavy duty verbal abuse when they don't even know the meaning of this word. If I was in a sex offender database like Visor for the police, this wasn't going to go into nursery schools. I wouldn't have this fucking whore from 6 and 8 year old children or from the binmen. That's why I believe that the aggressive harassment was triggered and intentionally in place by this council database, the security register.